Got questions about the Trinity? Well, get in line. One man named Arius in the 3rd century AD developed his own theory that God the Father created Jesus the Son. And believe it or not, his views seemed like they were going to take over the church, if not for the faith of one man. The first couple centuries of the early church are heavily disputed. Because Christianity was highly persecuted, the adherents of Jesus wrote things down sparingly, due to the threat of being found with a parchment of writing that would confirm you as a Christ follower was punishable by death in the Colosseum. This is why followers used the secret ichthus symbol, writing it in the dirt to avoid evidence of their alliance. Because of this, there is little archaeological evidence from the early church. That all changed in 313 AD, however, when the Emperor Constantine had a genuine conversion to Christianity. He issued the Edict of Milan, which legalized the faith all across the Roman Empire. As a result of this, different factions of Christ followers began to boldly proclaim their theories about Jesus and his relationship to God the Father. To settle these disputes, Constantine called a meeting of all the bishops across the known world to settle the matter. The gathering would be known to history as the Council of Nicaea. Yes, that council. The one that Reddit atheists falsely point to as being the birth of Christianity through Constantine as a means to control the empire.
No, well, the New Testament was made by Constantine, who was a Roman emperor who wasn't even Christian. He didn't even believe it. He became a Christian on his deathbed.
Quick tidbit, only bishops were able to cast votes on theological matters at the council, so Constantine didn't get a say at all. At the council, one man named Arius dared to defy the divinity of Jesus, claiming that the Son was not eternal with the Father, but that he was created by the Father and is therefore less divine. While this view had garnered a large and maybe even majority following amongst the lay people of the church, the bishops held the line on the divinity of Jesus. Out of the 318 bishops present, only 2 sided with Arius. The chief debater who went head-to-head against Arius was a bishop from Alexandria, Egypt, named Athanasius. He beautifully dismantled Arius's false interpretations of Scripture, refuting him with deep theology and obvious scriptures about the nature of Christ. His principal passage was John chapter 1, which says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him nothing was made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it." The Word is a reference to Jesus and shows that Jesus is God and is uncreated. Because if everything is created through him, he himself cannot be created. He must be uncreated to be the source of creation for that to work. Athanasius emphasized the incarnation of Jesus as being key because no person can reconcile us to God except for God himself. No mere created being would ever have the power nor the will to redeem us to God. Only God could do that himself. Hence the role of the Son, who is the second person of the Trinity. He used John 1:14, which speaks of the incarnation, which says, "And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth." As a result of this council, the Nicene Creed was produced, which emphasizes the divinity of Jesus as God. This creed would prove to be essential throughout church history, as many heresies began to sprout. The creeds were a way for the church to hold the line. Athanasius would continue to fight to establish the truth of Jesus' divinity, even though he was exiled 5 times between 328 and 373 AD by emperors who sided with Arius. So if anyone tries to claim that Jesus was created by the Father, remember, there's nothing new under the sun, and the authority of the church confirmed the truth of the divinity of Jesus, something Christians must always hold fast to. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Renaissance Ministries with David Irwin. Make sure that you subscribe, turning on the bell notifications so that you don't miss out my next video. God bless. Oh, a little bonus. St. Nicholas, yes, Santa Claus, was at the Council of Nicaea, and legend has it that he got so angry at Arius that he got up and he punched him in the face. Imagine that. Jolly old St. Nicholas.
Isn't that right? Huh? Isn't that right? Huh, brother?
Anyways, see you next time.